I'm giving it 4.5 rubber chickens as well.
You know, I don't like to brag, but I actually met the team at Mighty Games, who made Shooty Skies, the first game we just reviewed, and they were such big fans of mine that they made an asset of me in their game engine. Have a look.
Whoa, Darren, that's amazing!
Yeah, very impressive, Darren. Hey, and while we're talking about Aussie indie devs, Goose recently met one who's making games of his own. Roll the tape, Kerry.
Thanks, guys. I'm here in Melbourne with Josh, who's a young award-winning game maker. Josh, tell me, how did you first get into making games?
Yeah, it was about 4 years ago, actually. I found out about different game developer groups in Melbourne, and I went along to one of the meetups and met a lot of game developers from there. And over the last 4 years, I've just been making games by myself, making games with other people, having really supportive people around me to help me out.
So, did you always play games growing up?
Yeah, I did actually. I never thought making games was my passion, but I've always loved playing games, whether it's been like Mario or Wolfenstein or even like soccer games and sport games such as Rugby League Live.
How would you say some of those games have influenced what you do?
They've really, really influenced me over the years. Seeing some of the games, especially meeting some of the developers behind them who actually made them, that's a really big eye-opening experience, and it's put me on the path where I am now.
So we're currently here at the arcade. Can you tell me, what is the arcade?
Yeah, so the arcade's a co-developer working space based in South Bank in Melbourne. It has around 80 different people and 26 different companies, all working on games such as Crossy Road, Shooty Skies, Breath of Light. It's a really fantastic space as well, and it's a great collaboration space for game developers.
Can you tell me, what are some of the games you've developed?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago I had a work experience and a summer holiday job with Big Ant Studios, and they make a lot of sports titles. I was very lucky enough from Ross Simons to allow to work on Rugby League Live 2, and just actually recently I launched a game with my own company called Smog Game, which is a colour matching endless runner on the App Store.
So Josh, can you show me how the game actually works?
Yeah, cool. This is called Smog Game. It's a colour matching endless runner on the iPhone and iPad, which is teaching kids about how to reduce their smog carbon footprint. It's a very eco-friendly game. As the red power plants come around, you tap the red button to destroy them. As the blue and the blue force fields come around, you tap blue, and purple, which is red and blue together, you tap both.
Can you run me through how you actually built this game?
Yeah, so I use several different tools, from tools such as the Unreal Engine to Visual Studio. So at the moment I'm using the Unreal Engine to build the game. That's where you see all the 3D side of things. So you can put in the meshes, you can see the UFO, you can edit all the level scripting as well. In tools such as Visual Studio, that's where I do all the coding. So I use the Unreal script, C++, Objective-C, and that is all the actual coding behind the game to get it running and working.
There's obviously a lot going on here. Did you teach yourself code from the beginning, or did you learn from tutorials or any lessons?
A mix of both, actually. So a lot of it's, through tutorials and people helping me out. At the end of the day, though, you have to sort of research yourself and learn where to go.
Were there any particular challenges that you found really tough to get past?
Oh, absolutely. There's always very big challenges for making games. So I had things such as the game would crash on startup, so I gave the game to someone else and it just wouldn't work on the first time on their phone. So what I actually had is I had the voxel agents who worked down the hall, and they gave me a lot of devices to test, and they gave me some coding help as well to get past it. The big thing I've learned about is communication, actually. I mean, you can be the best programmer or the best artist or best designer. End of the day, though, you have to work in a team, and it's really important you work together with people as well. The biggest challenge I've had is balancing between school and university. I worked on the game quite a lot during year 12, which is quite a tricky time with, final exams and everything as well. And at the moment, I'm trying to juggle a full-time university while running a company and making games.
What advice would you give to any spawnlings out there who want to make their own games?
The best thing to do is to jump on the internet and look for different tutorials and videos to help you get started. And once you've started getting that, is to look at tools such as the Unreal Engine, Unity, GameMaker, and Scratch. There's plenty out there to get started. And just start modding your own favourite games as well. I mean, if there's a level designer, jump in and make your own levels.